Cool. Well, John, one game, one win, took it late in the end, based on the entire 90. You pleased with your side's performance, or do you think you got away with one?
Oh, no, we didn't get away with one.
Wasn't accusing you of.
Yeah. We created quite a few good openings and we limited their opportunities. You know, they didn't create a great deal. So we're quite pleased with the performance. We know first game of the season, there's always, a few nerves. Both sides would have been a bit anxious. They probably, they played a bit more football than us in terms of they had the Champions League and the Australian Cup. They made to the semi-finals. So they'd be a little bit, if you say, ready for this game, a bit more so than us. But in terms of our performance and that, there was a lot of positives. So, and there are things that we'll still improve on. We got, I think we had 4 new players that started today, and so, they're going to keep on improving with the team.
And I spoke to you before the game about Noah Botic, and you talked about how he was ready to make the step up. And I guess, did we see that today when you win the penalty and it's 21-year-old Noah Botic immediately grabbing the ball and standing over the spot saying, "I'm taking this," and then he scores it? Is that what you were talking about?
Yeah, exactly. So the first year he was here, he played an NPL game, and we had a penalty, and he didn't take it. And I said to him, "Why you didn't take that penalty?" And he said, "Someone else wanted it." And I said, "You're a striker." I said, "Want to score goals, be that player to score those important goals." And so that's how much he's matured and grown. And he's only 21, but he's still matured to the sense that he believes that he's the one that can lead the line. But it's not only him. We've got other players like Lockie and Daniel and Riku Denzaki, and then you had Rami coming on, and we still got Nikita Rukavica to come in. So, we've got players that can help him with that, but he showed good composure when he was fatigued right at the end of the game to win it.
Did he pull his hamstring celebrating?
His thing is cramp. I think there's quite a few boys that cramp. You expect that first game of the season. The intensity's high. Haven't played a lot of competitive football, and so he cramped.
That's good. Well, I did maybe nicked it, but that's good.
Yeah. I would have been upset. The way he ran off celebrating, if he ended up doing his hamstring. Anyway, it's hard not to celebrate when you scored the winning goal.
Was it particularly pleasing, given, especially as a young striker, he'd been a bit of talk about him, but he'd not been in the game a heap, and it's a moment of taking your moments, that he was able to take his moment. And with Jamie Young obviously being someone who probably knows all your players' penalties inside out. Yeah,
that's right. I was thinking when Noah stepped up, how much Youngie knows him and knows what he might be capable of doing, and penalties, they would have practiced it against each other. And so that showed real, he was confident. And you're right, he didn't have a lot of opportunities, but he kept on believing that his moment will come, and it did, and he took it.
I guess, how much is there still to come from Daniel Pena as well? We saw that ball that he played through, but it feels like getting the legs and that together.
There's so much more to come. He's such a great player that can change a game in any moment, and he's also a hard-working player and very humble and wants to work for his teammates and help them. And he hasn't played a lot of football over the last 12 months. At all. That was his first competitive game for 12 months. So we know that he will bring us a lot, and it's a good first game for him though, because they're a tough side, and he showed that in the moment that we needed him, he also created that opportunity that for Lockie, who took his goal really well, to have that big opportunity.
On the subject of the hard-working front line, you ran out of front four of Riku, Pena, Lockie and Noah. And looking at the way particularly you set them up to press, it seemed like they were waiting a little bit, and then the trigger came when City moved to the right-hand side. I guess that front four that you've got throughout the season, do you anticipate pressing with that young, energetic lineup being a massive strength of your side?
It can be. It just depends on who we play against. Some teams might want to go long, so you have to expect that. Some teams will try and play through it. But, it's not only the front four, it's also the midfielders, and it's also a back line. The amount of balls that Ben Garucho won on that side when they tried to play that ball, because he was ready for it. He was on the front foot. And then if they play the ball in behind, we had our back line ready to cover. So, it's not only the front four. And, look, it just depends on who we're playing, how we're feeling, but we can press. I spoke about it yesterday. I spoke about it yesterday, 2 days ago with you, Joey, that we'll press for long periods. They're a tough team to keep the ball for long periods because when we get down to the final third, we feel that we have openings pretty quickly. So, we probably didn't have as much possession as we'd like, but, we created a number of good openings. If they didn't end up in opportunities, they were good openings.
And when City did get the ball forward, it looked like Noah was dropping deep to help with the defensive numbers and you were leaving Lockie on the sort of last man. Is that because Lockie's quicker on transition, you want to get him in behind?
It's probably Lockie who was too tired to get back in.
And also, is there some sort of collective fine system for Lockie doing the gritty after scoring the opening goal? The gritty, that dance move that he did to celebrate. It's a fortnight dance.
Is it? I didn't know. I'm sure it will be a fine from the playing group. I don't get involved in that stuff, but I didn't know what he did. I wasn't sure because you're unsure now to celebrate too early if it's offside or not offside. So I was waiting to see the replay to see if it was offside.
John, was it disappointing to concede so quickly after opening the scoring in the 60th minute?
Yeah, it was because, we felt that they hadn't created a great deal until that stage and we had numbers around the ball. Aslan's a good player. He's, top player. It's a pleasure to watch him. Not when you're in the opposition so much, but he's at a level that, that's why he's played Serie A. And played for his national team, and so we knew that he has that quality, but we had numbers around the ball. We felt we could have done better there.
I want to talk about Josh Risdon just quickly. It's his first game as captain officially. He's always been sort of a leader. He stepped in as captain, from time to time, but he's actually Western United's second ever captain. Western United's a team with a lot of leaders throughout the squad. What was it about Josh that made you decide to select him as captain? And how's his leadership group going to work with him, Tomoki and Stephen Lustiker, who's another one who's a great leader in my opinion?
Yeah, Josh has been vice-captain now for a couple of seasons and we felt that he matured over those couple of seasons in terms of his leadership qualities. We know what he's like as a player and as a person. And we felt that this pre-season, he started to go on to another level in terms of the way he was helping his teammates. We know that he leads by example a lot of the time, but he's also coaching them out there, encouraging, and so we know that Josh was ready for it. We didn't even hesitate, and it helps that he's a foundation member. He knows the values of the club. It's the same with Lustiker and Tomoki Imai. They've been here since year one of the club, and they know our values. And our values, we've got a really good group that work for each other, and they're together, and we drive those values as much as possible.
Got to say, it was a little bit confusing and strange throughout the match seeing Jamie Young and realising actually he's playing for Melbourne City. Tom Heward-Bell, he's a player who, in my opinion, he's been ready to be number one for a number of years. He's a fantastic goalkeeper. He's got probably the biggest pair of gloves to fill in the league, in my opinion, stepping in for Jamie Young. He had a fantastic game tonight. How do you think he's gone, as outright number one now? And is he your number one straight up? Or
look, both goalkeepers that we signed have been doing really well in pre-season. Sutton and Heward-Bell haven't played a lot of football between them. Heward-Bell's a little bit older. He's been the second keeper for a number of years, but we were pleased with the way they were performing in pre-season, and we had no, doubt that we made the right decision in terms of signing these goalkeepers because we believe in them. And Thomas Heward-Bell showed tonight what he's capable of doing, but he's also been playing that way in pre-season, and we know that when a goalkeeper comes in that hasn't played a lot of football, there might be some ups and downs, but the group are there to support him, and so is the club.
Joe, away to Western Sydney Wanderers in week 2. I mean, I imagine there's a few sore bodies in there. I saw Hayden pelting the pickle juice at a few of them on the pitch. But any aches and pains that are going to give you pause and you'll have to monitor, and maybe they're in doubt for next week?
No, none that are in doubt from tonight at the moment. But yeah, It always happens. We know and we recognise the first game is always at a level that players need a little bit longer to recover. So we'll give him that, and we'll be ready for next week against the Wanderers.
And Nikita?
Not sure yet. Not sure. He's progressing nicely though.